Hey everyone, welcome back to Crypto Cash. Thanks again for joining me here. Hope you're having a fantastic day here, regardless of this red sea that we have on the market. Everything except for FTT is struggling. It's only because FTT was really far up on the day, and it is a token, totally different story altogether. But what we want to look at here, of course, is this head and shoulders pattern that's coming to full fruition. We didn't get that little bounce that we were hoping for. I was looking for a short somewhere in the $57, $58 range. Didn't even come close. Price continued lower. Okay, so now that we're here, we want to understand what's going to happen next. We do want to touch on a few things. We got basically this double bottom potential. Again, not 100%, but there is potential for the price to bounce off this $51 mark. That is a previous support level. Wouldn't say it's super strong, but still something to note. We also want to recognize that we are testing the ascending trend here. That is a longer term trend line, and that is something to be mindful of as well. Okay, so we haven't fully closed this candlestick here yet, but still looking like we want to close below that 100-day SMA. We got the 200 trailing behind as a potential support level. Again, not a lot of consolation here, honestly. The price is going down. We want to take a look at the back end here as well and kind of see what the heck's going on with the actual liquidation data. So let's just jump right in here. When we take a look at liquidation, again, hasn't changed much to the upside. Obviously, we see a sea of red here as far as $64 being a strong liquidation level for any kind of shorts that are hedged right there. But as we can see, pretty much any and all longs have gotten wrecked, okay? So good news about that, that's a consolation here. That's why we might see a bounce off that lower level. $51 is because there's really no liquidity left in the market right now, okay? So prices can tend to recover quickly because of that. I wouldn't expect that, but that is a possibility, okay? Slim possibility, really just depends. If Bitcoin continues down to 34, 35,000, then we're gonna see a whole nother push to down. Okay, so it might be best to presume the market's going to continue lower until it doesn't, because Bitcoin, while it's not losing any key level supports, closing closer to 36,000 is more of a bearish sign. Okay, we don't like to see that, and it does seem fairly indicative that we're going to see that happen here, being about 30 minutes before the daily candle closes. Makes sense, right? The market typically moves really strong in the last couple of hours of each trading day, mainly because the market movers want to close the price at a specific level. They're trying to push it to a bearish sentiment here, and that could very well mean that they're trying to round it right back up tomorrow. You never truly know, but this is unfortunately par for the course. So you get kind of used to this after years in the market. So try not to be too shocked by what's going on here. Okay, so Elliott Wave does still imply that if whenever we find our bottom, that we do still have another higher high to sweep. Okay, we do have some upper liquidity levels, so keep in mind I don't think Solana is out for the count, but this is never a great sign when we see this kind of scenario. Okay, RSI is quickly diving towards 50. We have our MACD divergence we talked about earlier today. Nothing really has changed here too much. When we look at our moving averages, we are still maintaining above the 20-day SMA. That still tells us we are technically doing okay. All right, I know that seems weird if you look at the smaller time frames, but the daily time frame is still in decent shape. We've got some support on the RSI, and we've got some support there with the moving average, albeit not super strong. Still something nonetheless, helping us understand we're still honoring this ascending trend. Again, you can only you test a trend line more times, the more likely it is to break. And this is roughly the second or third attempt to break this trend line. So again, this could very well be the breaking point. All right, 4-hour time frame. What's going on here? We are close to 30 on the RSI. Last time we were at 30 on the RSI was, drum roll please, back in October on the 12th. And if you recall, October 12th, the price action was right there at about $21. Ooh-wee. Oh, that was a sweet entry there, right? What I'm getting at is that RSI this low on Solana, it rarely goes much lower than 30. Okay, so just statistically speaking, we're less likely to drop, but you got to keep in mind too, we came up over 70 multiple times in a row, so by no means is this a definitive line in the sand. We're not going to go any lower because we are at 30 on the RSI. It's just a common bouncing point. Okay, if we break below that, different story altogether. Money flow index is low as well. When you come down to a key level support on RSI, such as 50 or 30, and the money flow index is lower, the statistical probability of the price action going up from there is higher. In other words, if you see here, price action hit 50 on the RSI, money flow index is low, price continued to progress upwards from there. Granted, we had a nice position in the market right there at that point. That was a much different scenario than we are now. So keep in mind this recovery may not be instantaneous, but there is a greater chance we will see the price recover, at least on the short term, than for it to continue to dump. Okay. Again, Bitcoin drops to 34,000, 33,000 tomorrow. None of this matters. But if Bitcoin can maintain itself at 36.2, 36.5, then we'd probably be okay to see a recovery of some sort, okay? Again, those are just some overextension plays that might be worth considering. Taking a look at TD sequential, we were at a 9 here roughly 8 hours ago this morning when I analyzed this, and it was looking like it could have bounced at least up to that resistance at 58. We got that whole scenario went down the drain as soon as Bitcoin started misbehaving. And you can see these candle wicks here too. Solana was trying really hard to recover when Bitcoin was being bad. But unfortunately, Bitcoin's been bad all morning, completely manic. Jumping up and down. In fact, speaking of manic, I think it was, where was it here? There was a hilarious post that one of our members, I think it was in Trade Results here. There we go. Like this explains it. This is Bitcoin today. Wait a minute. No, wait a minute. No, never mind. Wait a minute. Perfect job explaining that here today, Zach. Anyways, that's why Solana's misbehaving, of course, at least a lot more than it should have. Again, double bottom could have happened, but we are seeing that head and shoulders play out. Keep in mind, head and shoulders don't have to go all the way down to where it originated. We could very well see this recover here soon. So solid chance $51 is a tentative bottom, just based on a few things we're seeing here on the 4 hour. Last thing we're going to look at is the hourly. This is going to confirm 100%. We are fully bearish here, and there's no reason to consider a long position. So be careful buying this dip. It could dip and dip and dip further, okay? So please recognize this may not be the bottom. I'm not saying that it is. We just have a slightly larger probability of the price action trying to recover to this next Fibonacci level, maybe at 54.50, possibly 58. But there's no doubt about it. We are swinging towards a bearish scenario here for Solana. So if you're going to take any trades, again, as per usual, low leverage, low position size, please protect your wallet. Again, we have a few trades right now. One of them didn't go the way that we wanted, and that's okay. We hit like a 50% stop loss, if I'm not mistaken. Granted, we took tons of profit throughout the whole process of the month, with that being only our second stop loss this month. However, that happens sometimes, right? You got to recognize that's kind of par for the course, but we use very low position size, and that was only a 5x leverage trade. Okay? I know people that are using 50 to 100x getting liquidated left and right. Please don't be one of those. Don't be another statistic. Again, good news. We have a lot of good news here. There's no more liquidity down below the price action. It's completely swept. So the bears did their job. Okay. Now that that's happened, the next target could very well be $64. Okay. We got to pass some key level resistances first before we get there. But at this point here, we would want to wait at least 12 to 24 hours to consider a long position. If you have a short position open, this is telling us to consider leaving it open and do not take profit for at least another 12 to 24 hours, depending on how the price action behaves. All right, folks, that's where it's at. That's the gist there. Don't hate me because I just tell you straight up how it is, and I appreciate all the wonderful comments I've been receiving about just being open and honest with you too. This is just the market, okay? It's the way that it goes. You gotta to deal with it. All right. So again, thanks again for watching. Hope you learned something here today. Jumping over to our Twitter, Telegram, and Discord if you want to become a better trader. Look forward to working with you. Have a great rest of your day. We'll see you soon. Take care.